Hi everyone. So, I was in the middle of trying to record my Major Arcana series video for the channel members. I was focusing on the Hermit card. I briefly mentioned Odin, and not even in relation to that card, it was something roundabout. And as I'm mentioning him, two massive crows just land in front of my window. And they've both got their backs to me, and they're both like looking at each other, looking around. And if you're a channel member, go back and watch that video I posted yesterday, and you'll see it happen in real time, where I realize that these are actually pulling my psychic energy, and then a message starts coming out. So I do have some things written down that are from that earlier message. I did it right as soon as I finished that video, and it is later in the day now, so I want to tune in, and I'm going to add some more information onto this. We're going to pull some cards from Brian Froud's Fairy Oracle, as well as a scroll from I Scribe with Steph. I'll have her channel linked in the description box. So let's go ahead. Taking a step aside and allowing Spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. So the energy that was coming forward earlier when I tried to channel this was the power of voice. So using our voice. Whoever this collective is that Odin is trying to address and trying to come through, and you're going to know if that's you because you've been seeing signs of him. Maybe you've been really getting interested in the runes, for example. Maybe you've been seeing videos about Odin everywhere. Maybe you've just been seeing images that look and remind you of him. This is one where you're going to know that you're part of this collective, who this message is for. Now, there seems to be this energy that is coming through, that he's trying to break down the walls in someone's life in terms of using their voice. There's power in your words, is the energy that he's giving me right now. There's power in your words. I'm being told to spread this way. I'm being told to take one scroll now. We'll take that one. It's kind of sticking out. Okay, yeah, so this is kind of showing me a lot right now. The first thing I want to point out about this is it almost looks like a skull, right? It looks like the mouth, and the mouth is being sewn here. There's the nose. And so someone here, it's almost like sometimes we can't speak, right? Especially if you're somebody who, for example, you need to advocate for yourself, or you need to stand up for yourself. You might find that you have a really hard time doing that. You might stop yourself. You might be too afraid. And so that's a little bit of an energy that's coming forward to me. Some of you have something that you're meant to bring forward into the world, and this is what you're supposed to speak about, or this is what you're supposed to use your voice about, but you're afraid. And so this can be your message as well. Now he's trying to navigate me away from the specifics, and he wants me to go over to these symbols. So I'm going to give you some symbols. I always ask for symbols when I'm working with any spirit, any deity. And these symbols don't mean that for example, if these don't resonate for you, it doesn't mean that this message isn't yours. It means that these symbols are someone's clue that if they resonate for them, they need to pay extra attention. I'm going to have a hard time speaking through this one also because of the energy that he's giving me. So the first one is crows. The second one is black feathers. Then I see a blue triangle. It's like flame blue. I see red leaf, but it's really green. Like it's like a green top with like a red bottom to it. I'm seeing an icicle, but it has two tips, two prongs. A moonstone with black flecks, black inclusions, and then a small hand-bound journal that has some sort of sacred alphabets in it. Somebody studying or writing down sacred alphabets in this, or creating their own. It has a vibe. It has a vibe. So as I'm saying that, he's drawing me back to the scroll. One of the things he's drawing me back to the scroll about is this right here. It's almost like somebody's taking off. This almost feels like a bed. Someone is leaving their bed at night. So for somebody here who astral travels, or maybe use shamanic journey, the correct use of sacred sound is important to open certain doorways. And that's just confirmation for somebody. Again, my messages aren't meant to tell somebody something that they don't know. There is here, we have the Glockner. And this is a projection that we may have. We may have a fear that somebody will project on us if we speak our truth. That's what the Glockner is about. It's about fantasies and delusions, kind of that Seven of Cups energy, but mingled with a spice of Seven of Swords. So this right here is not necessarily the most savory energy. It's an energy where sometimes we might project that people won't receive us well. So there's a little bit of projection that's taking place. There is he just really quick stepped in. If you are afraid of speaking up for yourself, other people will be less apt to listen to you. So if you don't give yourself the service of listening to yourself and honoring your own voice, other people will be less likely to do that for you. So that's something that he's just adding in here real fast. Okay, we have the Dominus Gloom. So somebody here, there's a lot that we may be working through in terms of feeling stuck or feeling victimized in a particular situation. And this Odin energy seems to be coming through for you to really empower you to open your mouth and say something about it, to really use your words, maybe to speak up to the appropriate person. Okay, and the collective of pixies. For me, the collective of pixies is about freeing yourself. This is happening so that you can free yourself from a particular situation. Sometimes these particular situations are also personal prisons, right? They're ways that we trap ourselves. You have an absolute right to use your voice. You have an absolute right to say the things that you think, to say the things that you feel. Some of you are surrounded by people who every time you say what you feel, there's like lashback, right? And this is a them problem. This is not a you problem. It's up to you to figure out what you want to do about that. It's not your job to be quiet all the time, or to be silenced all the time, or to allow people to kind of overstep your boundaries in that way. You have an absolute right to use your voice. For those of you who are afraid to say the thing that you need to say in terms of bringing forward some sort of creative project or some sort of ideas, you have to understand how to heal that for yourself, right? There is an emotional healing element that's coming through, and this emotional healing happens as you begin to use it. So you might be afraid now, but as you do the thing, that will absolutely start to heal for you. There will probably never be a time for some of you where you're not afraid to speak and open up your mouth. The point is that you learn how to do it anyway. Right? And I'm not going to lie and be like, yeah, you reach this place where you're not afraid to do that, because some people never reach that place, but they do reach a place where they don't let the fear control them. Someone here, there is a little bit of a wound that is reaching back into a past life, and especially I'm being given images of Egypt, so I'm going to say that. If you remember a past life in Egypt, it feels a little bit like somebody said something that they weren't supposed to say, or something they weren't supposed to know, or they weren't supposed to share, and they were punished for it. I'm being given like jaw pain now, so somebody here has some residual jaw pain from however they were punished for it. Maybe other problems with the mouth, for example, cavities, or something going on with the throat even. And you may be wondering why things like this are happening to you in terms of, those pains or the problems that you've had with your mouth. And so that's why this is coming forward. He wants you to know where this started, but he wants you to know that by exercising your right to speak and your right to use your voice and understanding the power that your voice actually has, you will heal that, right? This is an energy block, and it will heal itself the more that you use it, the more that you forcefully choose to move that block out of your way. There is an energy also that's coming in here that we have a choice, right? This isn't something that we have to do. The fairy godmother is presenting us with a choice there. One is the pearl of wisdom. The other one is the temptation of the apple. The apple represents the shiny thing, or the thing that makes us most comfortable. And that pearl of wisdom is what we know that we should be doing to honor ourselves, the best thing for us, right? And so here, right now, what we seem to be most fascinated with is the thing that makes us comfortable. But you do have a second option. That's what he's trying to present to you, is that something doesn't necessarily have to be this way. You are allowed to speak. You are allowed to exercise the power inside your own voice and use the magic of words. This is going to be a life lesson for somebody. It's learning how to view things from a different way. Maybe you're learning how to use your words in a little bit of a different way. So for example, if you're speaking one way and that never works for you, understanding maybe how to reword something so that it's more easily received for people is going to be a lesson that somebody has. Now, I know a lot of people don't like things like that. They feel like that's them changing, to each their own, I'm just going to say it doesn't benefit anybody if we keep pushing against a brick wall, right? Sometimes learning that the way that we're communicating isn't necessarily the most effective way can be the best thing for us to realize in our lives. It's how we become better, right? It's how we become better. Okay, now this is an interesting energy here. This is the rar. So this energy tends to show up when there's an ungrounded element, when something's just chaos and it's bouncing off the walls. Someone here, and I'm going to say that this is for the person in this collective that's extremely creative or has a lot of ideas. This is also reminding me of this traveler here, right? When we have this kind of energy where it's not really focused and it's not really directed towards any one thing, or it doesn't understand where it's going, right? It's not focused with intent. We can sometimes burn ourselves out. Now, how that translates into this reading is that someone here, you may find that you talk a lot. You may talk a lot. And you may be understanding now, you're in a position now where you're understanding that your words, because you use a lot of them, are losing power. So people are less likely to listen to you because they're always listening to you, right? And this is where it's really good to understand that sometimes it's important to keep our silence. So we have two lessons happening here. We have one where someone is learning to speak, and another one where a person is learning when it's appropriate not to speak. And that your words will actually have more power if you use a little bit less of them, right? If people don't always hear your opinion, when you finally give your opinion, they're going to take it to heart. So there's just a few of you in this collective who he's trying to bring this lesson forward to. Now, this is about revealing our true selves, revealing our truth. Whoever this message is resonating for, if you fall in the camp of somebody who doesn't advocate for yourself, doesn't express yourself, doesn't share how you feel or the problems that maybe you have about something, no one can actually truly know you. You may be feeling like you're doing it as a service for somebody so that you don't hurt somebody's feelings, but this is actually doing people a great disservice, because in essence, they're believing a lie. And this is where we are allowing ourselves to step forward in that energy and to take up the space that belongs to us, right? It's not a question, it belongs to you. In order to be able to speak your truth, to voice your opinion, to state the facts, right? This is where we stop shying away from that energy and we start saying, no, I can't expect other people to put me first if I don't put myself first. You absolutely have a right to put yourself first and to say the things that you need to say. And the longer that you hold those things in, the longer things will continue the way that they are, which is a way that probably doesn't really feel good, right? Here we have Penelope Dreamweaver. And the interesting thing about Penelope Dreamweaver is she creates worlds. She makes entire worlds for herself. Remember when I said that this ability to understand the magic and the power inside our words and the weight that our words holds, it's opening up an opportunity for somebody. It is opening up an opportunity that's going to come down later on down the road, right? I got really tongue-tied there. And this is what this is implying. When we step into our true authenticity here in terms of allowing people to know us, to really know what we think, how we feel, what it is that we have to say, what we need to get off of our chest, what we do is we empower ourselves to go after certain things that we weren't empowered to do before. Some of you need to say, I want this, for example, or I want this, or I don't want this, or I don't want to be part of this anymore. By doing these things, what you're doing is you're practicing your own self-sovereignty. You're putting that out into the world. Okay, so this is just for me. This is to tell me a little message here. So I'm going to give this little aside that comes to me from this card. So there is a very few of you who are practicing with like sacred alphabets and sacred languages, for example, and you've been wondering if it's doing anything for your energy body. And this is confirmation that it is actually doing a great deal for your energy body. This is a way that you can unlock something within your third eye for yourself in the way that maybe you were led to use it. So that's just some confirmation that's coming through for somebody. Okay. Okay. Some of you here, if you need to know how to really unlock this block for yourself, spending some time on your own singing, and not necessarily singing in front of other people, but this is the piper. The piper for me really represents music. And so spending some time on your own, allowing yourself to just sing, to belt it out at the top of your lungs, whether it's in the car, and doing it with intention, doing it with the intention of moving that energy away from you so that you can actually use your voice. This is one of the things that's coming out for me as I'm pulling these cards. Now, there is okay. And this card is He of the Fiery Sword. So this is the truth. This is the sword of clarity. This is our voice. This is the sharpness of language and the way that we direct that towards our focus. For me, this is very much Ace of Swords energy. Now, right here with the number 4, that for me is an energy of conflict. It's just my personal number for conflict. And with this number 4 showing up, some of you may be afraid because what you have to say, you know that it's conflictual. You know that it's conflicting popular belief, popular opinion. Maybe it's something that's going to cause conflict conflict within your family or with a spouse or with a partner, it's important for you to be real, right? The one thing that I feel like everybody is just thirsty for is just more authenticity, right? Whenever we meet authentic people, we can't help but be drawn into them because there's so much in this world that's fake. Whether it's, social media influencers and our eyelashes and my eyebrows. There's so much in this world that's fake. And so when we come across somebody who truly exhibits authenticity and is able to speak their truth and speak about things, even if it's an unpopular opinion, this holds so much weight. This is so valuable. And this is what Odin is trying to come forward in this collective to really cause people to embrace, is the power of their words, right? Your words absolutely have power. It's not just using it because you're afraid to use it. Words themselves have so much power. Words, simple words, can influence people to do great things if they're inspired by them. They can also harm people. This is a big lesson that somebody is coming into, exactly how to cultivate and craft your words, when to use them appropriately, when to withhold them. Again, some element of sacred languages, sacred alphabets is coming in this as well. For some of you, again, you might astral travel, you might shamanic journey, and you might be using more of these sacred alphabets, sacred sounds inside of your practice. Okay, I want to get one more message, please. Okay, we're going to this again. Okay, let's go ahead. One card, please. I'm hearing 3. Okay, 3. For some of you, it's going to be very hard to step into this energy of using your voice more often. And it's because you've settled into this routine, right? You're used to, maybe for some of you, taking a back seat and allowing other people to exert their will or exert their emotions or their opinions. And so it's going to be a little hard for you. But the important thing is that you're trying. The important thing is that you're moving that energy out. Here, what I'm seeing is this anticipation. For some of you, this is going to be hard because you're going to feel anxious every time you get ready to do it, right? Especially if this is something where you have to stand up for yourself, and or if this is something where you have to use your voice publicly, you're going to feel a lot of anticipation leading up to that, and that's going to be difficult for you. The important thing is to remember that this routine, this staying in this energy, it's what got you here. And in order to get someplace else, we have to do something different. You're able to ignore that feeling. You're able to ignore that feeling. You're able to do it. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Trust me. And here it's observation. Again, some of you are taking a step back and you're speaking less and you're learning to observe. This is extremely powerful because once we do this, there's little nuances in our relationships that we didn't necessarily notice before that you'll start to notice. And this is powerful in and of itself. This is a place where we can see areas where, oh, maybe I should contribute energy here and I had never considered that. Or maybe I should retract my energy from this place and I had never considered that either. Either way, Odin is stepping through for a particular collective to say, pay attention to your voice, use your voice appropriately, practice the power of your words, and see what kind of magic that can instill in your life. So this is the reading. If this resonates for you, please hit that like button, and until next time.